It's true, a lot of people are going to be going home very soon with the introduction of container homes to our locals. This has left a few of our Jamaicans, some on board, some a bit skeptical because we are who we are. And joining us this morning to give a bit of clarity, registered architect and president of the Jamaican Institute of Architects, Camille Douglas Stevenson, and structural and civil engineer Peter Jervis and associate Zachary Watson. Good morning to you both. Thank you for being here.
Morning.
Based on your anecdotal just listenings, what do you hear on the ground? Are people more excited than skeptical or the reverse? Camille.
There's a lot of excitement because, of course, this may be the answer to many people's dream and desire, which is, we want to own a home.
Yeah.
We want somewhere to live. We want a place to call our own. So this may become a very viable option for a lot of persons.
And to be clear, this is actually something that's being done in many
Worldwide.
other parts of the world.
Worldwide.
Very successfully.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is not new. It may be new to Jamaica, but it really is not new.
Okay.
It's been around for decades now.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the concerns that people may have. Obviously, cost would not be one of them. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. Well, let's just get that clear. If you don't have 2.5 to 12 million, 12.5 million, then that's a challenge.
Right.
But comparatively speaking,
It's cheaper.
when you put this side by side with a home that's on the market for a starter home for 15, 20,
20
30
Right.
million,
Right.
then we're talking,
comparative.
yes.
It becomes very affordable at that point. This is comparable to what I remember seeing in the United States some years ago, where they have double wide and single wide homes. Sometimes we'll call them trailer park homes. So this is a similar type of a model. So who this would fit very well for instance, is someone who has a piece of land somewhere. Your grandparents deeded some property through your family for generations. So you have that land, but of course you've been trying to figure out and navigate what to build, how to build, and how to really start yourself off.
Zachary, people are saying, how are we going to live in a container? We can't live in a container. You're saying you absolutely can.
You can, yeah.
Retrofit it.
And that's the thing. So technology is advancing now. Insulation materials are getting better. You have various types of insulation to choose from. There is spray foam, there is wool, there is batik, and
In Jamaica, you need those things?
well, yeah, to make it livable.
So let's talk about that. How do you make a container livable?
And, but
Well, this is a part of the misconception that we have to overcome. It's a container, it sounds simple, and what I imagine is that this may be a quick solution for many people who want to do it themselves. A lot of Jamaicans who have the resources, it's a DIY project.
It's not a DIY project.
But this is an undertaking that is, of course, going to take some technical skills.
Of course.
You still need to have your professionals involved. Please don't do it by yourself because, of course, you're talking about a product that has to be retrofitted and redone so that it becomes suitable for living.
Up to code.
Up to
to
code,
standards.
up to
Go
standards.
down if the big bad wolf comes and huffs and
Exactly.
pulls.
Exactly.
Exactly.
All of those aspects are still very much there, and it's important for us to just maintain perspective. We also have to be realistic too. It's not going to fit everybody.
No.
It may still, by the time you get this container to do what you want as your dream home, it may still be more expensive than a traditional home.
Is that true?
Yes, it could be.
and it just depends on the person, and it depends on what you're using to do.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the concerns I see being raised in social media, so we talked through that. The container art, obviously, the container can be cool. AC
Yeah.
is a thing.
And
Windows are a
ventilation
thing.
is also- yeah.
And then we just,
Ventilation.
right.
Right.
So you're not going to get the container, put it down, and put some furniture in there and live in there. It doesn't work that way.
No,
To
no,
retrofit
that's
it
not what
properly.
you're doing. Right.
What about the big bad wolf huffing and puffing? People are saying, but if hurricane come, this structure is going to blow away.
And that's the thing. So containers has been in ports during hurricanes, during storms, during natural disasters, and they don't move, and they're not even secured at that point. But
Really?
Right.
exactly, they're just stacked at that point.
Right.
But at the point that at the point that you bring it into a home now, you're securing it to a foundation using anchor bolts, using other fixtures that has been proving it's the same way that you fix a steel building to a ground. So
How do we what's that word? Secure ground. You don't just put the container
Foundations.
there. You
no, so you
No.
create your foundations and you secure your container or your new home using anchor bolts and plates.
Okay.
Right.
Sustainable, environmentally friendly, eco-friendly.
Very sustainable.
Very. This follows one of our greatest principles in sustainability. We want to reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Right.
That's
So
exactly
this
what
is
we
our reusing. And it also is answering the question of what to do with these containers that we've built. We needed the containers to get our economy going for shipping. Now we're taking that product and giving it another life because the containers are used for maybe, 12, 15 years
Yeah, and then
by
it's
the
just
seaport,
parts, yeah.
and then that's it. We don't know what to do with it. But now we're taking this container and it can live on for
Is it
another
compromised
30
by the
years.
sea water? No.
What?
Yes.
With everything you need
Yeah,
maintenance. So it would need scheduled repair. So there may be rust marks, there may be loosening of welds, but that's all repairable. And just like a traditional home, it still need maintenance.
Just like a traditional home, how long will this home last you? What's the lifespan? If I invest my $2.5 to $12.5 million, what's my ROI in terms of years and getting out of this structure?
For the most part, what we're seeing in the studies and case studies worldwide, it's really about 25 to 30 years that people can get. And this is if your container came to you in tip-top shape and you invested upfront to bring it back to farm and you've been maintaining it. If you're not maintaining it and you're not putting that investment
Like anything
in,
else,
Just
like
like
anything
pop right
else, you
down.
won't get it.
Okay.
Right.
So I've seen where they can be anywhere from 800 square feet. These are the single ones.
Correct. Well,
To up to 3 bedrooms, which are. Am I right?
no, well,
Not 8.
Well, it's
when you
not one
combine
unit.
them, you can get up to
Right.
about 800 square foot.
Oh, so
Right.
I think I'm wrong. The single one is a lot smaller.
Remember that a container is coming at a standard size.
What's
It's
the
a
standard
model.
size of a container?
So you have two standard
Yeah.
sizes. So you have a 20 foot and you have a 40 foot.
Okay.
And that's 40 foot times 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
40 feet long,
By 8.
8 feet wide.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
gonna need
Yeah.
So you see the perspective has to be maintained because you're
Literally.
making this one component into something bigger. So for some people it won't work. It still won't work. You know? So
Yeah, but I mean, if
perspective.
if you've bought into a lot of the housing units that are now being built, or you bought into the quad when it was a thing in Portmore,
Yes.
people have bought their quads and they've taken their
expanded.
time and expanded. Then you can start here
True.
and
Yes.
expand as well.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Thing.
Yes.
And it creates a viable option not only then for home ownership, but then for people who want commercial properties, this could be a thing as well.
Yes, yes. And here in Jamaica, it has been used for a while in
Yes.
commercial properties. There are
Yes.
several offices that are really containers. And even for schools,
Schools, yeah.
many schools have been utilizing containers
As
for a
classrooms,
while as classrooms. So especially when it came to classrooms for computer equipment and components that they already knew had to be in a very specialized area.
So you folks are excited about this? There are opportunities here to take advantage of.
I'm excited, but I also want to caution Jamaicans to maintain that perspective. Make sure it's a good fit for you. Remember that you still need your expertise. It's not, please don't just go off
not
buying
a
a
DIY.
content. It's not
a
like
DIY.
that.
Yeah.
You have to maintain that perspective. And remember, even if you purchase a container unit from one of the companies that's retrofitting, remember that container has to fit on your property somewhere. So what I have to do in the hills is different from what I do at the flats, is different from what I do close to the
Find a
coastline.
trusted,
You need your trusted,
reputable
yes,
architect,
engineer.
Yeah, right.
They are.
Don't cut the corners, people. Is your house you're talking about.
This is your
It's a
investment.
investment.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Or your life if you do something
Yes.
wrong. I want to ask another question. When you have the actual structure, is there a way to fortify the actual structure? Can you put concrete around it, or can?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
Yes.
can.
You can clad it with whatever
Yes.
you want.
And many people do that. So some people may not want that look of the container. For instance, I think it's one of the photographs that you had
Yeah.
there. That's a container unit, but it doesn't look like a container
Right.
anymore because they've gone through and put it together. Base is really the containers, but they've cladded it with other materials.
You can do that.
And you can do that.
Is that recommended, or is it really just based on what your
preference?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I also want to add that it also would add to the longevity of the container.
So that was
because
my
you're
next
protecting,
question.
you're protecting the outer face from the elements.
I really love the idea. I think it could be a thing. If I could, I would buy. May I please buy a container? I try it out and see what happens. Because I mean, you know, this could be. There are people who are trying to get money off real estate. This could be one way. You cannot buy 3 apartments. You can probably buy 3 container homes and call those investments. There are people who are always looking to start.
Yes.
Who can use it as a starter unit, and you never know where you can go from there. Opportunities abound. Just arm yourself, folks, with the knowledge that these folks are giving us, and then go forth and conquer. Thank you so much.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything else you want to add before we go? You've cautioned.
Yes.
Anything else from you, Sir Zach?
No, that's fine.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Registered architect and president of the Jamaican Institute of Architects, Camille Douglas Stevenson, and structural and civil engineer with Peter Jervis and Associates, Zachary Watson. Coming up next, it's something to smile about. We'll be right back.